What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Soul Tree. My name is Kari. I'm going to read for collective messaging. Not like that. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Soul Tree. My name is Kari. I'm here to read for the collective, and this reading is going to be based on the first letter of your name. So you can go by your first, middle, or last name and take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't for someone else whose name may start with that same initial. So thank you for being here. I'm so excited to get into this. Before we get started, someone needs this message. Someone needs to know that your guides are protecting you as you find yourself and trust your mission. So that is a message for someone. That's just what I received prior to starting with letters and name. And that would be for anyone who is feeling stuck or imprisoned by something, or just feeling like they have had this energy that they haven't known how to express. For example, I haven't been able to read tarot or record specifically for weeks, and it's been really difficult for me. However, I think this message is for collective because I can also relate to it. Like, if I decide who I am and if I decide what I do, it'll come more naturally to me. So I have to trust myself. So if that resonates with you, I hope that you take it and apply it to some area of your life that you may have been feeling stuck. Now we're going to get into letters and name. So if your name starts with an initial that is listed in the description below, feel free to watch that segment of this reading. And you can read for your first, middle, and or last initial. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You will get used to hearing me say that quite a bit on this channel. All right, so we'll be doing quick 3-card pulls. Whoa, cards are splashing out of this deck as I shuffle. We'll be doing quick 3-card pulls for the letter of your name. Remember, you can check for your first, middle, or last initial. All right. And we're going to start with letters and name O, S, A, C, T, and P. So if your name starts with an O, S, A, C, T, or P, this reading is for you. You just get one more card for you all. Thank you. All right. I'm so excited for this. I haven't read in a while, so I'm super excited about it. Okay. For letters and name O, S, A, C, T, and P, you may be coming into this reading feeling a little bit exhausted after going back to something that you love, something that you enjoy, that brings out your inner child or that allows you to love on your inner child. And you may be feeling just tired of trying different things and nothing really seems to stick. The cards pulled for you were the King of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and the Hermit. So with these cards, it seems that there's something that you've been trying your hand at, we'll call it. There may be something like a project that you've been working on or a creative venture that you've been applying yourself to that hasn't come easily to you lately. It may have felt like you weren't able to authentically engage with it, or like there was just some emotional blockage perhaps. That's just for some of you. For others of you, it may be that you are in a position of power in this project that's very challenging. And whatever that challenge is, it's causing you to transform, or it is prompting you to transform. And that transformation, because the King of Cups is Scorpio energy, so that's kind of where I'm getting the transformation idea from. The transformation, however, is going to feel like a final test. It's going to feel really heavy and difficult. It's going to like really test your creative mind. The King of Cups is extremely creative. He is very thoughtful and strategic with how he applies his creative energy. The King of Cups is Scorpio energy, so if you think about creative energy in terms of, for example, the time you spend in the gym or working on your body, that energy, the more you put into it, the better you see the results almost immediately. And the King of Cups is very strategic. He knows where he wants to see results, so he applies his creative energy in that specific area. So I think that is part of the advice for you, is if you are going through something that's challenging or testing your creative or emotional energy, you get to decide where you want to apply that energy. For example, if you're dealing with something with a parent, you may be just be having difficulty communicating with a parent or an authority figure in your life or a family member, and it's going to test you and it's going to make you really frustrated. But you also got the Hermit. So the Hermit is the inner you. The Hermit is you when you go within and you find your inner smile. You find that little version of you, that little, maybe a child version of you or a version of you that you really love and adore. And that version of you has the answer to all the questions that you may be seeking. To put it in more 3D terms, I guess, isolate yourself and give yourself time to really think about what is important to you, what fulfills your emotions, what fulfills your inner child, what fulfills the strategic and organized version of you, and what also fulfills a creative dream. Because the King of Cups is also a dreamer, we have to remember. He's a romantic, he has hearts on his shirt. And I know that this is someone who appears to be female in the image. However, the King of Cups is a masculine energy, so I say he when I'm describing some of these characters. So all in all, for those of you with letters of name O, S, A, C, T, and P, go within and decide what's important to you, and then decide only to apply that energy to whatever area of your life is testing you. That's how you pass the test, all right? At the bottom of the deck, rather, you have the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is a wounded soldier who is strategic, but the strategies just haven't been working. And the Nine of Wands is energy that reminds you to not give up, because you do know the answer. You just have to allow yourself to go within and analyze what is really important to me. What do I value? A good text that I recommend to help you identify your values is Brene Brown's. If you Google Brene Brown values, there is an entire list of values that Brene Brown has, and the recommendation is that you pick 2 that you really resonate with, 2 that you would be willing to die for. It doesn't have to be that dramatic, but that is one way that you can tap into your values and work your way through this final test, because your dreams are on the other side of your fears. All right, y'all got this. Thank you for joining. All right, welcome back, friends. If your name starts with K, hold on. Welcome back, friends. We are reading for letters and name K, G, Q, I, D, and V. So if your name starts with a K, G, Q, I, D, or V, this reading is for you. Remember, you can watch for your first, middle, or last initial, or last initial. Interestingly enough, you got the exact same cards as the first group of people. So if your name is O, S, A, C, T, or P, please go ahead and watch their reading as well. You may be feeling tired or overwhelmed by efforts not feeling successful, or a project not yielding the results you may have been hoping for. And it may be because there's part of you that is neglecting part of your inner child, or you may feel like your inner child is being neglected by something that you've been putting a lot of effort toward. I feel that this is because you're at the end of a cycle, and I cannot make this up. You didn't see it, so there's no reason for you to believe me. This was the third card that came out in your reading, and I paused the video to just adjust my setting because I'm in the park and the wind blows. And this card, laying face up like this, flipped over. It was the only one that did that in your spread. All 3 cards are laying side by side. Anyway, after that happened, I clarified what just happened, and you got the World card. So this tells me that it's a challenge, but it's also kind of like harvest season for you. The person who is carrying these wands, they planted all of these wands, and it is burdensome to carry them, but it's also a huge win. It's kind of like a victory for them. So you may be experiencing a victory, the end of a cycle. Perhaps you might be traveling. The World card is also a card of travel, but there's just some movement in an area of your life that's felt very fixed, or perhaps even stagnant for a while, and you're kind of understanding why things had to happen a certain way, in a way that does feel rewarding. So if you're feeling exhausted or just burdened by the end of something, by closure, lean into putting your efforts toward whatever will bring the cycle to a close. This person is taking these wands, their harvest, home, and they're going to share it with their entire community. They're building things back here. If you can tell, this looks like foliage. It looks like plants and bushes, but for some reason I'm feeling that it's also future dreams getting built, future homes, future communities, future families, and these wands are going to help build those structures. So lean toward whatever is going to help you bring closure to this feeling of burden, and sometimes that looks like practicing gratitude. So if that, perhaps find little moments to just be grateful for the breeze, or the singing bird that you can hear behind you, or all the green lights, no red lights on the way home. That can really be helpful, especially when you're closing out. 10 is a number of endings. So when you enter your new life, practicing gratitude can be great. When I talk about a new life, the World card to me also represents a portal, because it looks like something like a threshold, like she's about to cross over and be in a new place with these people, with the friends. Perhaps she's leaving behind some old things and she's embracing new things. It kind of looks like these characters are in front of the portal. So entering your new life in a state of gratitude can be really, really fantastic for setting yourself up for success. So if your name starts with a Q, G, K, I, D, V, or O, S, A, C, T, or P, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And don't forget to go back and watch that other reading. See you in the next one. Because your name begins with an N. Hello friends, if you are here, it's because your name begins with a W, H, B, N, or L. So if your name begins with a W, B, H, N, or L, this reading is for you. We're doing quick 3-card pulls for that card just popped, but it didn't fall all the way out. So if it comes back, we'll know it was meant for us. We're just doing quick 3-card pulls for your first, middle, or last initial, starting with the 5 of Cups. So feel free to listen to any of the readings for your first, middle, and or last initial. We got the 7 of Wands next, and your final card is the 7 of Pentacles. So the first thing I'll say about this reading is you have 2 7s, and usually 2 7s indicate fears that are unnecessary. So like fearing the unknown just because you don't know what it is, right? So in this reading, the 5 of Cups tells me that you may be experiencing some disappointment related to a heart forward effort. So something that comes from your heart. It could be a romantic situation, it could be a project that you really love, it could be a creative endeavor, it could be a relationship that is meaningful to you that's not really just like yielding the feelings or the results that you want, or perhaps a loss. It could be the loss, like facing a loss in a relationship, or just facing that you may have just lost your taste for something that you used to love. The king, or the person on this card, has actually lost their taste for wine, and it's like, okay, you lost your taste for wine, but you still have 2 cups behind you. You can put whatever you want in those cups. You can put juice, you can put ginger ale, literally whatever you want. So it could be a good time for you to take a look around you and be present with the abundance that you do have, not with the materials that you don't have, or not with the relationship that you don't have. There's more potential and abundance and future forwardness in the materials and the tools that you do have. So rely on those things to get you through this time. Along with the 5 of Cups, you also have the 7 of Pentacles and the 7 of Wands. So it seems like what I'm getting is that for many of you, it is a creative endeavor or a relationship that you're kind of disappointed because you are looking at the investment that you made and you're noticing like, I expected to have 10, not 6. You know what I mean? For my 1, I should be able to get more than what I'm receiving. And it could be coming from a place of greed, which is like the low-hanging fruit reading. But the more nuanced reading of that could be that it comes from a place of really investing something that is very meaningful. Like it came from your heart, and you know that what you invested is worth more than what you're getting back. So now is the time for you to defend what you know to be true. Defend what you know that you know. If you know that you are meant to be an artist, then go be a fucking artist. If you know that you're meant to be an artist, lead with your heart and defend that dream. Because just because you may have tried 3 times doesn't mean that the 4th or 5th try won't work. You still have something to work with, so don't give up on your dream just because you've had a few no's. Every successful artist or dreamer or person has faced rejection, and it doesn't mean that your investment isn't good. It just means that perhaps the soil is not the right place to be investing. So the last thing I'll say is you got on the bottom of the deck the same card as the other 2 sets of initials. So if you are interested in perhaps a nuanced reading, you may relate to the first 2 readings posted. So go ahead and check those out. If something resonates with you, take it and apply it to the area of life that feels most meaningful. And if not, leave it for someone else whose name may begin with one of your initials as well. Thank you for joining. I'll see you in the next one. If you are here, it's because your name begins with an E, M, U, Y, or Z. So welcome. I hope that you find something that resonates, and if you do, take it with you and apply it to the area of your life that feels the most meaningful. And if not, leave it for someone else. Remember that you can watch for your first, middle, or last initial, and you're welcome to check out the other readings as well if one of your initials lies in those. We're doing a quick 3-card pull for you. We got the first card is the 9 of Cups, and then we actually got a few more than 3, but I will take them. So we're starting with 5 cards for you. And the first card is a wish granted. You're starting with the 9 of Cups. As you can see on this card, this person is sitting on this chair, and being seated implies that she's at rest, she's resting, but she does look like she's awaiting something, and kind of like she knows that it's coming. If you really look at her eyes and her smile, it kind of looks like a knowing smile. And that's because she has poured emotion into every one of the cups that lies above her head, and behind that curtain is the 10th cup. So she just knows that all she has to do is put herself in the emotional state that she knows is coming, and that's just gonna make it arrive more quickly for her. The person on this card knows that as long as she resonates with what she knows is coming into her life, it's going to be there no matter what. A lot of you may be familiar with the quote, if it is for me, it will not pass me. Whatever the universe has for me will not pass me. And that is the spirit of this card. So that's your starting energy. You continue with the Star, which is a card of healing, and it can also indicate fame. Obviously, Superstar, it kind of resonates with the Star card energy, but this is an Aquarius, and Aquarius is the inventor that created the gourd that brings healing waters from the pond to the village. So for people who are unable to get up and get the water themselves, for people who just aren't thinking outside the box enough and think that getting water is such an arduous task, the Aquarius invents a tool that makes it easier. So Aquarius and Uranus are resonant with very innovative energy. So if you are an innovator, this card is for you. And if you've been innovating something or creating something, like getting creative with an idea that you've had, and you've been defending that idea, get ready, because transformation is ahead. And you are transforming to a place of financial stability, okay? Can't make this up. I wish you could see the table. Now I understand the YouTube tarot readers who have the camera like face down at the table, because these are the exact 4 cards that popped out of the deck, and you are the first group that got 5 cards. So what I'll say is, I think that the message for you all to just remind yourselves as we go into eclipse season is, the more that you defend what your heart knows to be true, the more healing and success and prosperity you bring to your life. And it may be a difficult transition, because it will require you to really be in this kind of like, I'm defending my place and I'm defending my knowledge energy. But don't relent, because the transformation is leading you to a place where you have more stability and more success and a little more control over your finances. The 4 of Pentacles is, it resonates with Capricorn energy for me as a reader, and I believe that maybe the energy assigned to the card as well. But it's about controlling the distribution and income and outflow of your finances and your material possessions. So stay strong if you are going through a time of having to like really defend what you know, because you're bringing a lot of healing to yourself. And also I'm getting to like your lineage and your ancestors. And the advice is to vibrate in the energy that you are attracting into your life. If you're vibrating at the energy of owning 3 properties, how is that going to feel for you? If you're vibrating at the energy of being an entrepreneur, what emotions are you going to be feeling every day that you are able to exist in that state? Feel those emotions, and that's what's going to attract that energy into your life. And the 9 of Cups is a wish fulfilled, a wish granted. Remember that everyone manifests. Manifesting is something that we as humans naturally do. I believe it's associated or tied to free will. I'm sure someone's done the research on it. But if you manifest by feeling the emotions that you know are coming to you in this new version of your life, after you transform, you will feel them, because you're already bringing yourself to the place that you want to be in. I want to just remember that the law of attraction does have a lot of evidence, and it's possible to make that work in your life. Thank you for being here. I will see you in the next one. Hello friends, if you are here, it's because your name begins with an R, F, X, or J. If your name begins with an R, F, X, or J, I'm pulling 3 cards for you, and we are going to see what this season's energy has in store. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So you may be coming into this reading with an idea for a project or a business venture or a work-related task that you wish to nurture, or a goal that you wish to nurture. And the 3 cards that came out for you were the Page of Cups, the 2 of Cups, and the 8 of Wands. So the Page of Cups, 2 of Cups, and 8 of Wands to me indicate a romantic relationship or a creative relationship. I'm getting, for some of you, it could be related to romance, and perhaps someone having their eye on you that is actually a soulmate. You may have met this person over the internet, and for some of you it could be a soulmate. I'm not getting that it's for many of you. I would say it's even like fewer than 10%, like maybe 3% of people this could apply to, the soulmate. But it could be even a creative partner that you have met over the internet, and it seems like someone who has had their eye on you, or someone who perhaps even manifested you, or you may have manifested them. And I'm saying the soulmate thing because these 2 people are sharing cups, and when I say soulmate, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a romantic soulmate partnership. This could be a creative soulmate, or a someone who is just a really great partner in like a business venture, or someone who really shares the same passion as you. Maybe someone who loves camping and hiking as much as you do, and perhaps you just share a love for something. These folks are sharing, they're cheersing cups, but what's in their cups is coming from the same source, and the source could be seen as like their higher self angel. So what they're sharing in these cups is going to nourish both of them equally, and it comes from the same source of love. So I believe for those of you who don't resonate with the romantic reading, you can apply that to any relationship that's really dear to your heart and close to you. The Page of Cups is someone who communicates about what they love. So it could be that you've been praying for something. It could be that you've been texting someone that you may be interested in, or someone has been texting you that's interested in you. And this seems to have happened quickly. And it also could have been over like a dating app, or it could be that someone is asking you that they would like to collaborate with you in a creative sense. I'm getting for some of you that it could be like a speaking engagement that was arranged over the internet. So the 8 of Wands is like fast-paced information energy, and very often we get that kind of communication over the internet. So I would say if you have been waiting on communication, it could be incoming, and it could also be very it could be supportive for you to check your email, check your inboxes, check your spam boxes. I even recently checked my spam and saw something important in there. And I know those are things that we tend to overlook. So start paying attention to your lines of communication, and also start using this energy to help attract what you may have been wanting, or what you may have been wishing for. As you can see, the Page of Cups is like leaning toward the Two of Cups here. And Cups energy is about love, but it's also about creative energy. So if there's been a creative venture that you've been trying to manifest, now could be a great time for that to happen very quickly for you. So I wish you the absolute best of luck, and I hope this resonated for you. Feel free to watch the other videos and see if anything else hits. I'll see you in the next one.